there's a legendary piece of recording gear that is not an SM57. One that's been on more hit records than you can count, from vocals to guitars to thundering toms. And yet it's also one of the most infuriating pieces of gear ever made. Every engineer's used it, every engineer's sworn at it, and I may have sworn at it more than most. And then, not too long ago, somebody building the damn thing finally had the idea, maybe we should make this thing suck less. Great job, guys! That only took half a freaking century! Let me show you what I mean about how awesome this thing sounds. Hi, I'm Glenn Frickert, and I've been making records in a home studio since 1998. I own 3 of the original Sennheiser MD421s. I love the way how they sound, but I despise using them. And I especially hate when drummers try to help me, Mike and Tom, after I've told them 3 fucking times, do not touch the mic! But sure enough, here comes Captain Helpful, waddling over like he's solving world hunger. Grabs the mic, and because the Sennheiser MD421 has the absolute worst mic clip design in the entire history of recorded sound, it pops out, ricochets off the floor tom like it's a hockey puck, and crashes to the ground. Congratulations, Captain, you've just cost more than your entire cymbal budget! Idiot. And this is exactly why every studio should be legally allowed to keep a cattle prod on standby. Because drummers, they're not people. They are percussion-based life forms, and they respond to negative reinforcement. Anyway, let's rewind the tape back to 1960 when Sennheiser dropped the MD421 on the world. And no, it's not classic because some hipster douchebag nostalgia fetish. It's classic because it works on everything. You want toms that sound like cannon fire? This mic will make your drummer feel like he's actually contributing something useful. Not, that'll do. I'm talking, holy crap, did the drummer just punch me in the sternum levels of tone? Guitar cabs? Hell yes. Pair it with a 57 and you get mix ready tone without spending an hour trying to EQ the fizz out of some overhyped boutique mic that costs double and sounds half as good. And vocals? Well, they use them on voice at my local university radio station. Not because it's cool or vintage or has character, but because it sounds amazing and could survive being knocked over by some idiot DJ trying to read the news while still drunk from last night. I bought my first 3 MD421s back in 2007, and I've used them on pretty much everything, especially garage bands, because hey, that's what I do here, but the toms sure sound great. But as much as I love these things, they've also caused more engineer mental breakdowns than bad click tracks. That original clip design is pure sadism. Just thinking about adjusting the mic is enough to make it leap out of the clip like it's trying to escape a burning building. It's not a mic mount, it is a $400 gravity tester. Which brings us to this. Proof that even Germans can admit when they've screwed something up and finally fix it. Now, for those wondering, yes, this video is sponsored, and honestly, it's been something of a dream come true to work with Sennheiser. I first heard of them thanks to a poster hanging in the window of my local music store where I took guitar lessons way back in 1985. I remember these weird-looking yellow headphones, something about a band called Weather Report, and thinking to myself, wow, those must be really pro. Now, almost 40 years later, I'm helping the same company introduce their new mic to the world. And it's my honor and privilege to do it because Sennheiser builds amazing gear. Except for that damn 421 clip. The mic is great, mind you, but I am sorry, all the money in the world still isn't enough to get me to like that miserable piece of shit. Why the 421? Because it works. On anything. You see it in a year and a half of the life of Metallica. They're miking up Kirk's cabs for lead guitar on the Black Album. Steppenwolf used one for vocals way back in 1968. Sure, they're lip syncing like it's their day job, but hey, the mic looks cool and that's what really matters, right? If you want to hear a 421 actually doing something, check out the band Fanny absolutely obliterating Hey Bulldog on the same show in 1971. There's a 421 on the bass cab and the rack tops. Congratulations, Steppenwolf! You just got your asses kicked by a bunch of girls, because real performance always trumps lip syncing. The 421 is one of those rare pieces of kit that just works everywhere, and that's saying something because most gear is extremely not that. The Empirical Labs Distressor comes to mind as another rare exception. Now, I've used my 421s all over the place. Guitars, vocals, drums, you name it. But years ago, I upgraded the clips to some 3D printed ones from Wilkinson Audio because the stock clip was just so terrible. You'd think it was designed by somebody actively trying to destroy your microphone. And I am not exaggerating. You don't have to go very far to find mangled 421s online. Hell, the studio I was working at in Hollywood had a set that looked like they'd gone 3 rounds with a drumstick-wielding gorilla. I replaced those clips too, and actually got a thank you from the studio owner. And that never happens. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. The size. The 421 is freaking huge! Why? Because it's got a high-pass filter ring on the end. Now seriously, when was the last time you bought a mic just because it came with a high-pass filter? Never? Yeah, me neither. That filter is a leftover from the days when mixing consoles were made out of wood and shame and didn't exactly have a lot of capability. I've owned the 421s for years and I don't think I've ever used that filter, not even once. Turns out if you ditch that useless antique, you don't need to make a mic the size of a baguette. Who'd have thunk it? And because of that, suddenly the mic is small enough to fit on a tom clamp. And for the record, 421s absolutely rule on toms. You probably heard them in that role on more than half the records that you own. But now you don't have to sacrifice half the drum booth just to set them up. Because placing 421s can be a bitch when you're dealing with multiple mic stands, a cramped kit, and 0 floor space. Ask me how I know. So I moved over here to my much cramped drum room / cab room just to show you how much space the 421 actually saves. Take a look at this. Now this is great. This mic is super easy to place now, and I've got the mic just slightly off center, just lowered a little bit, kind of aimed at the blob on the speaker wire. And this is getting me a really, really cool sound I don't think I've ever quite got before. It's certainly a different flavor than your standard guitar mic, that's for sure. And let me show you exactly what I mean. Now the 421 on its own can be a little bit bright in my experience anyway, especially if you're miking up some of those Chinese vintage 30s that came out anywhere between say 2006 and 2020. They could be just a little bit bright, and by bright I mean they sound like a nice pick in the forehead. However, with the new UK made vintage 30s, it's a bit different story. Check this out. This is just that 421 compact. Oh, wow! That isn't just chugging. I'm gonna call that sound the unholy hand grenade. Let's just say this. I was not expecting to get that sound. And just for clarity here, the signal chain is Bad Cat Lynx 50 into the Neve. That's it, no post EQ. I've got a little bit of chorus reverb and a little bit of that micro pitch going on courtesy of Eventide. But that's it. And this is the sound I'm getting. There's no fucking around. There's no tweaking with a million different things with EQ and C4 compression, anything like that. That's just the sound of the mic. I'm really blown away by what I'm getting here. This isn't something I'd be like, hey, let's tweak that out somewhere. It's like, damn, let's throw that one on a record. So what's it actually sound like on a mix? Hit it! It's small, it's light, and dead simple to place. No awards for stupidest mic clip ever invented here. This one actually holds your mic where you left it without any nasty surprises. Sounds fucking amazing on cabs, toms, voiceover, you name it. It's the kind of workhorse you actually want in your stable, not the lame half-dead mule you keep around out of pity. Even bare bones, it's still $279. That's about $150 more than other competing instrument mics. I get it, you're paying for a jack of all trades mic that does more than just instruments, and you're getting bulletproof build quality. But if you're miking a typical Metalheadz kit, 6 toms, 2 of which he'll hit exactly once on the entire album, but Captain Evolutionary Dead End insists you mic them all because he saw a picture of Portnoy's kit once, this gets expensive fast. And these little bastards are addictive. You'll want to use them on everything. Warm up your credit card because this is going to cost you. I can't think of anything ugly about this mic. I've got 0 gripes. Sennheiser absolutely nailed it. And for once, they built something even a drummer couldn't break. Well, never say never, but at least I can trust them to move it now. I'm absolutely blown away by this little bastard. It's got everything I've ever wanted out of 421 without any of the pain in the ass nonsense. It's small, it's light, and with those new UK-made vintage 30s, it absolutely rips faces off. This might just become my go-to guitar mic for the foreseeable future, and that's saying something because I've been living on 57s for decades. At this price point, it's not just a good buy, it's an absolute no-brainer. So if you're looking for something other than an SM57 to stick on your cab, stop screwing around and go get one already! And while you're at it, check out this video here where I put those new UK-made vintage 30s to the test. They're absolutely awesome. You're not going to want to miss it. Click here.